for.
Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and just record this. I think we've got some people coming in and out. So, good. That's the whole point of this is as you're learning, we want you to be able to see these things in the classroom. Okay. All right. Who's seeing anything really good going on with phonics lessons? Or who is anybody doing phoneme grapheme mapping? Where they're taking the phonemes and then mapping them, because you're going to have an assignment to do with that in a little while. No? Anybody? Okay, well, y'all, I hope maybe can push your teachers to start, once you get to that phoneme graphing piece, to go in and it's really important for those dyslexic kids that they get exposure and practice with how to spell these words. So spelling words can be phoneme grapheme mapped. Okay, we're going to get to that in a few minutes. All right, so I think we've talked about field experience. Now let's go into the final. So you have a written final, and then you're going to have an oral final. The written part is going to be open from like a Monday morning to a Sunday night. Okay. Once you open that final, you have to take it. It won't let you open it again. So be sure when you open it that you've got some time to take it. Okay. So what's going to happen is it's going to be, I have just a little study guide. Basically, you're going to have to know vocabulary. You remember, but you did that PowerPoint with your vocabulary. You're going to have to know that. You're going to have to know how to phoneme graphing map. You're going to have to know how many phonemes are in words. So we're going to actually practice some of that in a few minutes. That's the written part. Okay, it's mostly multiple choice, but you will have some open response because I want you to put into words what you've learned. Okay, and then after that, you will have there's really not that many of y'all. I usually do 2 nights. I probably will do 2 nights, even though y'all are so good about showing up. I probably will do a Tuesday that week, like maybe 6 o'clock on Tuesday. And then, hold on, let me see. Can't remember if I already had that link or not. I've done it different ways. Yeah, I already have a link for you. So the link is on the first page of that Canvas shell, and it's going to be on April the 23rd at 5 o'clock. So what's going to happen is you'll come on to Zoom. You all will be here. I will be in a breakout room, and I'll pull you to the breakout room, and you will articulate the 44 phonemes for me. Okay, so right now, let me go. I'm going to share the screen. Let's see, do I have
Those.
I'm sorry? I think somebody had a question. I just didn't hear it.
Cards as we're saying them to you that we used in our video?
Nope. That's for alphabetic principle. You notice that I asked you to do all 26 of the alphabet, right? So what you just did with that assignment, and by the way, y'all did a really good job, that was alphabetic principle. This is phoneme articulation. So have you noticed that there is not an X on this sheet? There is not an X. Because X is not a phoneme. Because what sounds does it make? It makes k, s, like a K and a S sound. Ks. People describe it as something hitting the oil, like chicken or fish hitting oil. Ks. So X is not considered a phoneme, but it is a grapheme. Okay? So these are the phonemes. These are the sounds, the smallest unit of sound. But there are a lot more graphemes that represent the phonemes. So let's go up here and look at the vowels. This is where students a lot of times for the test, you're going to read across this row, just like we're doing it now. So the more you practice, I'm going to put this up. You're going to read, read, read. You're just going to tell me the sounds, okay? So notice the long vowels. Here's long E, long A, long I, long U. Oh, where's U? Over here. And long O. Now, notice the difference between the long vowels and short. There's only one way to say a short vowel. There are many ways to write a long vowel. So if we're going to focus on, and that's why children starting in second grade, the second grade standard right around Christmas time is being able to decode a 2-syllable word with a vowel team. Okay, well, look at your vowel teams. Under long E, you've got EE, EA, you've got IE. And also the letter Y can make the E sound. Sil E, okay? So no wonder kids don't know what letters, just how to spell, right? Because we have so many more graphemes for the long E sound. Well, you typically always have the magic E. So look, you've got the magic E for A, I, and O. Okay, that's always the first one that you'll see. But look at how many different ways you can write a long A sound. 7 different ways. That's why the long A is so hard. They don't know which spelling pattern to use, which vowel team. So second grade, you spend a lot of time on vowel teams. All right. I didn't know if I'd ever showed that to you or not. So you're going to keep muted, but I want you to echo after me. So anytime you see this little upside down U that's called a breve, that means short. Anytime you see the line over it, that means long. It says its name. So the smartest thing for you to do is get a keyword. You can use the keyword that's underneath here to help you remember. And I don't care how fast or slow you go. I just want you to be able to know that you can articulate the 44 phonemes. Okay? So who needs the phonemes more than anybody? That's our dyslexic children. And we have dyslexic children. 20% of our children are dyslexic. 4 to 5 in every single classroom. Okay? So they need a lot of phonological awareness. You may have to work on phonemes with some 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. All right? So I'm going to make the sound. You echo it by yourself. Okay? This is good practice. It's in the back of your syllabus. Practice, practice, practice. All right. E. I. A. E. A. I. O. U. So your mouth goes from E to A to U. That's why they're on here in the order that they're in here. This is how they are articulated, the way it's formed in our mouth. All right, let's do, I'm going to read across this row. You all echo after me. The schwa makes the sound, like about, America. Okay, I may have to, hold on. I may have to save this, y'all. I don't want to lose it. Okay. All right. So what sound does the schwa make? We have more schwas than we do short vowels and long vowels. So if a vowel, let me look at y'all's names again. Let's see. I think I've done this before. Tamisha, is it Tamisha? Jamisha?
Jamisia.
Jamisia. She's got the on the end of her name. Erica. Okay, so a lot of names have that schwa on the end. Thank you. I just couldn't see the beginning of your name. So the letter the sound for schwa is And then the way I want you to read the diphthongs is oi, ow, all. Your turn.
Oi, ow,
Okay, good. All right. R controlled is R, or. Okay. It's all I want you to do. So you're going to read across this row. You're going to read across this row. And you're going to read across our R controlled. If you teach kids that before every R is a vowel, they need to know how to spell that. It's either going to be an E, I, an A, or an O. They go together. It's either R, or or. Okay. Which one of these do you think is going to be the hardest for them to spell? It's going to be because you can write it with ER, UR, or IR. So this is the most difficult phoneme. All right, now we're going to do a consonant. So we're going to do, some of you are going to read continuous and stops, and some of you will read voiced and unvoiced. Okay? So with the continuance, you are going to echo after me. Just keep it on mute. And this is really just for your practice and then to see where you might be having some problems. So listen to me. When I get down to the stops, it's going to be real quick and quiet. All right, so echo after me. This is where you're going to want to have some keywords. So the first TH that's unvoiced is thick. Thick. There is no sound. You just stick your tongue out. Okay? Thick. There. That. The voiced TH makes your bottom lip shake. Okay? Now, these are continuants because you can continue the sound. Z, sh, z, l, mm, mm, ng. And why is the hardest? Because it's co-articulated usually with following a vowel. A vowel usually follows it. And it's y. It's like yo-yo. But it's not ye. Okay, it's y. You have to just cut it off just a little bit. All right, the stops. We're going to go quick and quiet because if you try to go a little bit louder, you're going to put a schwa on the end and students are not going to be able to break words apart if there is a schwa. So I'm going to do the whole row and then I'm going to let y'all practice the whole row. All right, your turn. Okay, how'd you do? Which ones seem to be the hardest?
I have difficulties
To
with
me, it's like
the
the
G
G and the
K's, yeah.
yeah.
The G and the C. Okay, so here's what some people do with the G. They want to put the soft G instead of the hard G. The hard G is G. G. Because what makes the J sound is the J, okay? And the CH, ch. All right, so those are the 44 phonemes. And that's what you are going to be articulating one-on-one in a breakout room, okay? All right, what questions, comments do y'all have?
I have a question on our assignment this week
Okay.
for the umbrella that we have to draw.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said we have to put the standards underneath it. Are we writing the whole standard out or just?
Okay, so yeah, let's go over those upcoming assignments. So, okay. A couple people have already turned it in and you did it right. So I want you to be able to draw the umbrella just the way it is in your syllabus and on your first page of your Canvas shell. Because when you go in to take the foundations of reading, you're going to want to draw the umbrella on your whiteboard. So that's all I want you to do is draw it. And you have to have the raindrops in the right order because it goes easy to hard, left to right. Okay. And remember that, let's see, I can go back. I'm trying to think, what did you ask me another question? Didn't you? Oh, the standard.
I was asking, yeah, the
Yeah.
standards.
So I think I asked you to just write the standard on there. And I just want you to write the STEM standard, which is RF2. I can't remember what I asked y'all to write.
2A to E.
Yeah, that's it.
And then there's one
Biological
more. I just put-
awareness. So that's what I want you to write. You don't have to write it all out. I don't want a big thing. Just know what the phonological awareness standard is for kindergarten and first grade. I think I asked you to write both of them. So just follow the directions. So you're going to be able to, you want to write phonological awareness on the top, and it needs to go words and sentences. We start big, we go syllables, we go onset rhyme, and then we are doing rhyme. Now over here, there's only one raindrop that comes down off the umbrella, and that's phonemic awareness, which is different than phonological. So when we say phonological awareness, we're saying the umbrella term, which is all these raindrops. Phonemic awareness is the ability to manipulate phonemes. So we isolate phonemes, we blend them, we segment phonemes, and we add, delete, and substitute. Okay? So if you know that this is set up from easy to hard, and you can label these raindrops, it's going to help you greatly on the Foundations Reading Test. So if you want to do it on the computer, that's fine. Sometimes when you start adding all these little things graphically, it doesn't look real pretty. So I don't care if it's hand drawn, just make it look a little professional, you know. Don't put it on a piece of notebook paper and draw it with a pencil. Step it up just a little bit from that. All right. So you're going to be drawing the umbrella, and then this week is Haggerty. So you're going to watch a Haggerty lesson, and then you're going to decide, are you going to do phoneme segmenting or phoneme blending? And you are going to use 5 words. If you have access to a Haggerty book, you can copy a page, write down the words. So if you're going to do phoneme blending, then the directions, it's real simple, y'all. I want you to blend these sounds together and tell me what the word is. At, cat. Blend these sounds together and tell me what this word is. D, a, g. Okay? That's blending. Now for segmenting, I'm going to say, tell me the sounds you hear in the word table. T, a, b, l. All right? And so you're going to pick either blending or segmenting, one or the other, and you're going to demonstrate that in a video using 5. It's better if you use CBC words. Do not use 2-syllable words for this. So once you get to 2-syllable words, you break it down into syllables, and you do not do phonemic awareness. Okay? All right, that's for this week. Next week, you're going to do phoneme grapheme mapping. Okay. You're going to watch a video. I'm going to put the...
I think the Haggerty is next week's.
Okay. Oops. Okay.
Yeah, it is next week. There's nothing due for Haggerty this week.
Okay, it's next week then. Okay. New whiteboard. Okay. So with phoneme grapheme mapping, this may not look real pretty, but X out of all this. Just for demonstration purposes. Yeah, I'm having a hard time just even drawing a box. So funding graphing mapping. We're going to do CVC words. Now, some of the CVC words can be with vowel sounds, okay? Oh, I'm collaborating. Y'all don't need to be collaborating with me. I didn't mean to hit that button. All right, so if we're going to do the word coat, she has on a beautiful red coat, okay? Then if I had counters down here, I would do k, o, t. You always have to do phonemes first, okay? So how many sounds did we hear? K, o, t. 3 sounds. Now we're going to write the graphemes. So we did phonemes. Now we're going to do graphemes. So what sound does k make? All right, now I'm going to tell you that the long O sound is a vowel team. So I'm going to show you the graphemes that represent the long O sound, which is OA. K, O, and the last sound we hear is a T. So now let's put it together. K, O, T, coat. So you're going to do a chart up on the board. There's a demonstration video. You're going to do it just like the demonstration video. And this is what you're going to create. You will use, I think I asked you to use a blend, a digraph, and a vowel team, possibly. So let me erase. Okay. So if we're going to do a digraph, the word is shop. So how many sounds do we hear in shop? Sh, ah. Okay. So the graphemes that represent sh goes in one box. Sh, ah. Okay. So this is fun in grapheme mapping. That's a couple weeks out. And then you're going to get into, you have any questions about fun in grapheme mapping? I do want to find out if anybody sees this going on in your classroom. Anybody seen fun in grapheme mapping?
I saw it
I
whenever I was doing
observed one.
observations, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I see it in the kindergarten class I go to.
Oh, that's awesome. So fun in grapheme mapping is so important, y'all. If you can master this and you can take it into even 4th, 5th, and 6th grade when they're learning how to spell, from 3rd grade and up, you don't break it into phonemes, but you would put a syllable in each box. So you're going to chunk the word into syllables. If you do that for every spelling word, you're going to help your child so much. Okay. That's the phonics that they need. Okay. So then I think the last assignment that y'all are going to pretty much do is going to be heart words and flash words. So flash words are words you need to learn in a flash. Heart words are words that you have to memorize. They don't follow the phonetic patterns. So think about the word was. She was funny. Z. If you were a phonetic speller in 1st grade, how would you spell that?
With the U instead of an A?
Yeah. And what about the last sound?
A Z instead of an S.
A Z. Yeah. Good. Y'all got this. So that would be a heart word, and you're going to put a heart over the A, and you're going to put a heart over the Z because they have to learn how to spell that word. That is a heart word. They have to learn it by heart. Okay. All your CVC words that you can pronounce and articulate are flash words. So that's going to kind of be at the end. We finish in this class. I always finish a week early, y'all. I don't like drama and I don't like stress at the end. So you'll see that week 9 is when we take our test. We're going to finish in week 9. You're going to take your final and you're going to take your articulation with me. Then week 10, there's nothing for you to do. You're done. Okay, so we're going to get finished a little early. So I kind of want to talk just for a minute about the foundations of reading. So I hope everybody has signed up for a seminar, either the one at Tradition or the one with me in Hattiesburg. Any questions about that face-to-face seminar? You will not pass the test without it.
Do I need to go ahead and start applying for like a student ID? Because I think I was a little set back in terms of registration, so I'm missing some things, and like a student ID is one of them. Will I need one to get on campus?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. For both campuses, you need it to get indoors at Hattiesburg, and then at Tradition, they usually check it when you're coming on campus.
What if I'm a complete online student? I don't think I even have a student ID.
Yeah, there's like a process to do. You have to like
Mhm.
edit a white background on a picture and send it to them, and they'll send it to you. So it's as much as I got.
I'm an all online student too, and I sent Dr. Wyndham an email, and she gave me the contact for the lady that is at Tradition campus. And it was like 20 minutes, and I just went up there. She took a picture and then gave me my ID and parking pass.
So if you're coming to Hattiesburg, you can tell them you're coming for a workshop, because we always have a lot of teachers that are coming for workshops. And they'll let you on campus to tell them you're going to Fairchild, and we'll get you in the front door. So if you're an online student and coming to Hattiesburg, don't worry, we'll get you in. Okay. We're going to give you a training manual. We're going to give you links for how to go take the test. So here's the procedure. It's like a 4-hour training. Mine is. I think Tradition, she includes lunch, so it's a little bit longer. So mine is from 8:30 to 12:30. So bring snacks. We'll have snacks. Bring your own drink. And we're going to work until you don't have any brain power. Okay. It's usually right at 4 hours. And we'll go through the training manual as best we can. Then there's a Canvas shell that we're going to put you on after you attend the seminar. You will go to the Canvas shell. We'll add you to it. You will study. There are 4 components on the Foundations of Reading test. You're going to study component 1. You're going to take the test, take it till you get really good. Then you're going to go to component 2. And you're going to take it. Then you're going to go to component 3. Component 4 is the writing sample. So we start the workshops off with the writing sample. It's 2 open responses. You will write 250 words. We're going to go over all this with you. We're going to teach you how to look at test questions and go straight to the answer. It's super important. It's really good. It will help you a lot. Now, you come to the seminar, then you get on Canvas. If you want to get on 240 Tutoring, you will email us and we'll put you on 240 Tutoring. We pay for that. It's very expensive, so you have to use it. It's a 30-day subscription, and it mimics the test. It is you can take it, like with Canvas, we want you to break it down by components. But when you go to 240 Tutoring, it's the whole test. So it's going to mimic what it's going to be like when you go in to take the test. You have 4 hours to take the test. Okay. Now, if you want to, after you come to the training, you'll be able to go ahead and book your date. Now, here's the kicker. They won't let you see the seats and see what's open until you pay your money. So, have your credit card ready, put it in, go ahead and sign up, and then it's going to show you at the test center what dates are open. Typically, these are taken at community colleges. Okay. And there's one in Mobile too, but you want to go ahead and sign up because they do book up. This is a licensure exam. Everybody in Mississippi that is a teacher that graduates in, it can be anywhere from junior to senior year. There'll be a lot of people taking it at the end of May, beginning of June. So book it as quick as you can. Okay. It's like $139 or $49, I can't think. Then you will practice. I'm going to give you tips for when you go in, but you don't want to go in until you've been on 240 Tutoring, Canvas, and been to the seminar. It takes a lot of practice. You have to know the phonological awareness umbrella. So when I say you have to be able to freehand draw it, I really mean that. They give you a whiteboard You will, after you take the practice little test on the computer, you will draw the umbrella on your whiteboard. You don't draw it the minute you go in or they'll kick you out. And you'll have to wait 30 days to retake it. So don't do that. I'll tell y'all again that at the seminar, but you will draw it so that when you come to a phonological awareness question, you can point to the umbrella. Okay. We're going to give you all kinds of other tips also. All right. Everything you're learning between Dr. Wyndham and my class, and the models that you learned last time, the simple view reading and the reading rope, that's going to be on the test. We're going to teach you the new part, which is assessments, and we're going to teach you that when you come to the seminar. We're going to teach you how to do the writing sample. Okay, so when you go in, writing is the hardest skill. So you're going to go in, you're going to do the 2 open response writing questions first, and then you'll take the 100 multiple choice. You can't get your license till you pass this test. We want you to pass it on the first attempt. Okay? And you can. So we recommend you take it as soon as you finish this class. That way you know, hey, I've already passed that test. I can get my license. When you before you go to residency 2 or student teaching, you will have to take the praxis 2 before. So you could take that this summer if you want to, or you can, just as long as you have attempted to take it before you go into residency. I don't want y'all to say you haven't heard this before, okay? You have to pass the praxis and the foundations of reading in order to get your license. So you want to take those early. You want to know, hey, all I have to do is finish up my coursework. I'm going to be able to get my license. Okay. I probably opened up a bunch of questions. What do y'all have for me?
Up for the one, your review and Wyndham's review.
I
Does that
think
mess y'all up in any way?
no, I think that's a good idea. It's good to hear it twice if you can do that. Okay.
So mine's kind of unrelated, but I'm in Dr. Gammel's social studies for elementary schools class, and I was placed in just a kindergarten class, but I have to be observed in a 3rd through 6th grade
As long
social
as
studies
as
class.
long as they can as long as you can observe them teaching social studies in kindergarten, that's fine. You just need to observe social studies. So a lot of times
Okay.
it looks different. It's through reading. Okay, so
But it does say, so even though it says explicitly 3rd through 6th grade.
yeah, they've got to relax that because our there are some cases now. We love for y'all to get that 3rd through 6th grade experience, okay, for science, social studies, and math. It's important. And it's important to pass the foundations reading test because if you've only been a kindergarten assistant teacher and you go take the test and you've never been in a 4th through 6th grade, there are going to be a lot of questions on there that you have no idea what's going on in a 4th through 6th grade class. If you can get in a 3rd grade class, fine. Just observe that lesson. But if you can't, ask your teacher when she teaches, when she's doing a reading on a social studies text, because every grade's required to teach social studies. They just don't do it all the time. Okay. And it's always taught through reading in those lower grades. So that's not a bad question to ask. Okay. Your kindergarten teacher will still sign off on you going to that 3rd grade classroom. You only want one person to sign your hours. That's the host teacher that you're with. Okay. All right. What else? Well, I'm quite impressed with this group. Y'all were on the ball last time. You're on the ball this time. If y'all don't have any other questions, we'll conclude and y'all can go do whatever you need to do.
I have another question.
Okay.
You were talking about we only have one teacher sign off our hours.
Mhm.
So even if I'm a TA, like I'm a TA with a second grade class, but I go observe like a first and a kindergarten class. I have my teacher in my class sign off,
Yeah.
or do I
Who's
have
your
to?
host
Oh,
teacher? You have one teacher. I know tradition always struggles with this. I don't know why. It's not a hard concept. It's not y'all. It's not y'all. I just think they're not telling y'all. You have one host teacher you're assigned to, right? Not 3 and 4. You have one teacher. That teacher signs all your hours. That's who you report to. You can go to other classes, but that's who you report to. Okay?
okay. Thank you.
Okay. I did not talk about advising. So let me talk for just a second about that. I'm going to start advising next week. So if you're one of mine, be looking for that. Your advisors will be reaching out to y'all starting April the 8th to get appointments to advise you all. And we'll be advising you for summer and fall. Okay. Y'all are typically in the 3rd trimester, which means you've got 3 more to go. Typically. Okay. So if you've got 3 more to go, you can come this summer, fall, and winter and graduate, or you can skip the summer and do fall, winter, and spring. All right. So just giving you all a heads up that after next year, when you graduate, are most of y'all scheduled to graduate in spring of 25? Most of y'all should. We're going to switch to the semester system. So when you're meeting with your advisor, do what you can to finish up in May of 25. It may mean that you might have to come this summer if you're missing some classes, okay? Because if you have to come back in fall of 25, you're going to be in a semester, and you will graduate in December. So it's going to look a little bit different if you have to go that far. So we are working with our advisors to let them know to either speed you up or slow you down. But because you're in your 3rd trimester of education courses, you all should graduate in spring of 25, unless there's something unusual, if not earlier. Okay? If y'all have questions, go through your advisor on that. But I just kind of want to give y'all a heads up that you're really going to be the last group that's going to graduate under the trimester system. So it's going to be a lot easier for the education department because you're going to be more on a school schedule than you will be the trimester. You know, having you all go in from November to February is odd. Teachers are not crazy about having somebody come in for those months, you know. And so it's going to work out a lot better for our education department to move to the semester system, but it won't move until after you graduate. So you should be okay. All right, you have any questions? Okay. Well, thank y'all. Let me stop recording.